what you're supposed to do there? I don't think that's what you do. I think you hit the go live button. I think it says we're live. Oh, looky there. We have GW Rules. We have Michael. Thank you so much for joining. Jim Stute. Jim Stute says he has a date with Agatha tonight. I wonder if he's going to the theater or is he going to see one of the movies? Who out there went to see the new Murder on the Orient Express? Who was in that? Who was in that? Two Bag Bean? Is that who was in that? Did we get a sound check on this?
We did.
We did?
I did. I heard it.
Oh, okay. All right. Good enough.
Good enough is good enough.
Hey, look, it's showing that. Go ahead and switch his cameras there. There we are. There we are. Look right here, everybody. It's the world's most dangerous Bessy. We have Lewis on here. Lewis is chomping at the bit for us to get the new stuff added to the store. Neil Morgan. How many of you out there have got your new stuff? We got Manny Marino. We have DW Lowe. We have Bry G. He says he just got his Kickstarter stuff.
William Matson.
Oh, yes. William says he got it today. Looking for pointers for the game. You know what, William? Marty Devine. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Very good, Marty. Yes. And I think it's an easy one. It's an easy one to do. I guess, you know, and it's not really a big deal, right? But remember, when a character is injured, what that means is that they're not allowed to roll a dice greater than their current health. It does not mean all of their dice are penalized. It only affects the dice that were higher than their current health. So if you watched the, no.
Oh.
You gotta watch where you're sticking your mouse there, little missy. Little missy.
Hey.
With your mouse there.
Who's the tech lady here?
Oh,
Me.
yeah, geez, there.
It's the me.
Geez, there, yeah.
Get it.
Fastest Kickstarter I got, the last one took 2 years. Well, we were actually kind of frustrated that it actually took us a month longer in most cases. Now, we actually got about 25% of it done before the end of November. But that really, you know, that's still frustrating for us. We try very hard to make sure we hit our deadline, and we missed it. But right now, I guess we're probably closing in on that 90%, you know, number. There's still some people that have not got their stuff, so we won't really be happy till we get everybody cleared out there. Uh-oh. Hey there. Hey, whoa there. That's is that some sort of threat there?
I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well, William mentioned something about what did he say? He said something about tips for the game. Is that what it was? So William, actually, I'm going to try to, if you didn't see the 2 12-minute tutorials that I did this week, you ought to go back and check those out. And I just can't let it go. Like, I did those 2 12-minute tutorials this week, and now I want to wrap it up with one final shebang and see how it ends. And there's a reason why I want to go ahead and play through it a little bit more. We will officially be going live in 1 minute. Oh, don't start coughing. Oh, don't start doing that. Thank you guys so much for joining. Merry Christmas to y'all for a very, very special live with Bessy and Dave. We appreciate you guys joining us here on Christmas
Eve.
No.
No. Yes.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
A very special
Nailed it.
Christmas Eve to all of you out there this evening. Remember to ask questions if you have any questions about the rules, romance, life, or how to repair a 57 Chevy. Any of those sort of things, Bessy is here to answer. If you have questions about the rules, I'll try to do my best to answer those.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Alley, and I am with the world's most dangerous Bessy. Yeah. Look right here what I have set up. I have a little thing
Ooh.
set up for later in
Okie Joe.
the thing. Yeah. Okie Joe is making his last stand. And how many of you watched the two little 12-minute tutorials that I did this week? Nothing really planned other than setting up the figures and start rolling dice and hope it didn't go completely sideways. Same with tonight, it's like I'm gonna, it's just live and you just go. But the thing is that we do a live game of Pulp Alley every week for everyone to watch and enjoy. And it's that level of confidence that we have in our game and the wonderful Pulp Alley players that we have. So we have just wrapped up the Perilous Island campaign, and that was a hoot. And now I think, what do you guys think about maybe me doing a solo game this Sunday?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Would that be fun? I haven't really figured out exactly what I'm going to do yet, but maybe we'll do a solo game this Sunday. I think that would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Let's see what kind of comments do we have. Hello, Marty Devine. Hey, Lord Grumpus is on here. Very good. Bri G. D. W. Low. Vern Jeske is on here. I wonder, Jim Stute, you need to let me know what you went to see tonight. If you went to see the theater, which we suspect that you went to see, or if you went to see the moving picture show.
Ooh.
How many of you went to see that moving picture show, Murder on the Orient Express, that last version that was done? Did you enjoy that one?
I did.
Yeah.
A little soapy, but I enjoy that.
Soapy. A little soapy.
Dramatic.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed anything really that's like a period sort of piece.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed the Wonder Woman movie when they did it, like kind of centered the first one when it was around World War I sort of era. That made it really fun. And I liked the first Captain America where they kind of placed it in World War II. I thought that was kind of fun. But since then, I really didn't care for...
We are not their target audience.
Yeah, we are not their target audience. So I really don't watch a lot of superhero movies or even Wonder Woman. I sat down and tried to watch the latest one, and it really didn't do it for me.
Mm.
But something I did enjoy was Jungle Cruise. Don't you think that would make a good Pulp Alley campaign? And I am thinking about doing a Pulp Alley campaign that will, at least part of it will take place in Central America or South America. So we could have some sort of Jungle Cruise scenarios, and that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Do you guys think that you would like that?
Possibly even a hoot.
Even a hoot and a nanny.
Oh, that's big talk.
We also went to see, at the moving picture shows, we went to see Ghostbusters. Anybody go to see the Ghostbusters? What did you think of that Ghostbusters movie?
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I enjoyed it too. I have to admit, I had my doubts going into it, but
I had the bar set very low.
I did
but
too.
They knocked it out of the park. I really liked it.
Yeah, very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. And just like good old-fashioned movie making, just entertainment for entertainment's sake. Good stuff. I thought about that while watching. I thought about the Jungle Cruise. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So the big question for y'all now is, Do you have any traditional Christmas movies that you try to watch that really like bring the Christmas spirit home? So, what are your big top 3 Christmas movies? Let that swirl around a little bit. Come on, give me some answers out there. Come
I
on.
have to swirl. It takes a minute.
Has to swirl a little bit.
Swirl.
There is a delay on this too. There is a delay, so like it takes
Manny
a while.
Marino said it's a wonderful life.
It's a Wonderful Life, man. That's like Santa.
It's from Elf.
What?
It's from Elf.
Oh,
It's a movie called Elf.
Mini Warmup says Santa. DWLO says Die Hard. Lewis says Scrooge with Bill Murray. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen that. I'll check that out. Have you ever seen Scrooge with Bill Murray? I like Bill Murray too. I was so happy he showed up in Ghostbusters. I was kind of worried for a while that he wasn't. Santa Claus, Christmas Story. That's on my list also, Bright G. Christmas Story. Watch Lampoon Christmas. Is that National Lampoon?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah. Muppet Christmas Carol. Very cool. Scrooge with Albert Finney. Christmas Story. Home Alone. Yes. Has anybody out there seen a wacky movie called Rare Exports? Rare Exports. And it's either a Danish or Denmark or somewhere in there. Could be Norway. Rare Exports. Very enjoyable, kind of an odd film. It's almost like several films in one because it has almost several distinct pieces to it. But Rare Exports is another one that's on my list. So Bessy always drags that out and for me. It's Finnish, I'm told. It's Finnish. So very cool. Hey, I want to talk about Pulp Alley before it gets too much later, though.
Okay.
Thank you guys for chatting with me. I really appreciate y'all. We have a wonderful group of friends, don't we? Our Pulp Alley friends. Y'all, we really appreciate all your support. Y'all jumping on here and chatting with us on a Thursday evening live. Just absolutely awesome. Home Alone still makes me laugh after 10 years. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, very good. So if you saw the 2 videos that I did this week on Tuesday and then on Thursday, they're called 12-minute tutorial. And I started off with Phantom Ace facing off against 3 of the Shadow Tong and kind of taking them on. And I really didn't have a plan. I was just going to kind of throw the dice out there and see what happened. And it was actually kind of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. And I think you guys enjoyed it too. So then on Thursday, I pulled the figures out again and, added a little bit more to it. That was earlier today. You saw the video for it earlier today. And when that one ends, Okie Joe passes his recovery check and gets up, and his 2 partners that started with him have both been KO'd. Lou and Wang were both knocked out of action. And now Okie Joe is facing off against Phantom Ace. So one of the viewers asked that they noticed that Okie Joe started off carrying a box. And I actually mentioned the box in one of the videos. I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one. I really didn't have a plan for it. I just put the box out there. I thought, well, maybe if things go south, if things go weird, I'll have something more to talk about. So I guess that's kind of what I'm going to do now a little bit. So when Okie Joe went down, anytime a character goes down, they will drop whatever plot point they were carrying, or plot points. If you're carrying multiple plot points, they will all be dropped and you will lose control of them. And if you're going to try to recapture them, you basically have to start from the beginning. There is no shortcut. if you drop the plot points and then you're going to try and scramble to get them again, it's just like the first time, and you're going to have to go through the peril and the plot point. So if we assume that box that Okie Joe was carrying was a plot point, when he went down towards the end of turn 2, he would have dropped it. And although he passed his recovery check, when he stands back up, the plot point is loose. And if you remember, I thought for a while, and remember when we said Okie Joe had the option, anytime you stand up, anytime you pass a recovery check, and it would place you into contact with an enemy, you have the option to disengage and move 1 inch away. Well, I thought about it, and I chose to keep Okie Joe engaged. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to keep Phantom Ace tied up. I didn't want Phantom Ace to be on the loose. And if Okie Joe comes up in contact with him, it's like he's got a hold of his legs or something like that. He's trying to hold on to him. That's what it kind of represents. And he's not letting Phantom Ace escape. If I'd have backed up away from Phantom Ace, then Phantom Ace is actually a better shooter. Although he's a dang good brawler, he's actually a little bit better with shooting. So that was me trying to mitigate some of the risk of Phantom Ace as well. Another thing I noticed when I was watching those videos is, because they were pretty much done live, I have a horrible tendency of saying things wrong. I know that when I was frequently, I'll say, Okie Joe will be rolling 2 die 10, and I'll set 2 die 6 out there, but I'll say 2 die 10 for whatever reason, because my brain doesn't actually function correctly. And then I noticed today during the video too that I said something like the multiple combats penalty does not affect your brawl skill. And what I meant there was the multiple combats penalty does not affect your dodge skill. So you kind of have to take some of those tutorials with a grain of salt, because my mouth sometimes works faster than my brain, and that's really not too hard to do.
It happens.
Yeah. So what was the box? The box was a plot point. So we'll say that was a plot point. So by coming up in contact with Phantom Ace, he's going to try and stop him from getting there. Now, here's the other thing. Here's the other big thing that I really want you guys to kind of wrap your heads around. And that is, when should you go first? And when should you make the opponent go first? So as we start this third turn, right at the end of that last turn, Phantom Ace became the director. So now Phantom Ace is in the driver's seat, and he gets to decide, will he go first? Will Phantom Ace go first on this turn, or will he make Okie Joe go first? So let's say this is the situation. We have Phantom Ace here. He is injured. Phantom Ace is still injured, boys and girls. He is down to a D8 health. He shook off one of his injuries. He was all the way down to a D6 health, but right now he's at a D8. So he is injured. And he is engaged with Okie Joe. And he has a plot point really just here on the backside of Okie Joe right here. So in this situation, who, if you were Phantom Ace, who would you make go first? And this is one of those times when you really have to realize that going first is not always to your best, your benefit. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to show you why you really need to think through, not that you really need to, that if you can think through this and try to get an advantage out of, are you going to go first, or are you going to make your opponent go first? Now, let's say that, let's just talk through it just real quickly. Let's say that you decide to make Phantom Ace go first. You go, well, it's like every other skirmish game in the world. So going first is always a smart thing, right? Well, no, it's not. But you choose to go first. So you go first. Let's say you knock out Okie Joe and you put him down. And now maybe at the end of this turn, something else happens. But at the end of this turn, you used your activation to knock down Okie Joe. And that's the only thing you accomplished. The only thing you accomplished in that turn was knocking down Okie Joe. If you did that differently, would it matter? So let's think about it.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So if you make Okie Joe go first, what's going to happen? He's going to activate. A fight is automatically going to start. And what if Phantom Ace puts Okie Joe down during Okie Joe's turn?
Oh, pick me.
Bessy.
He can go get the plot point.
Now, on Phantom Ace's activation, when Phantom Ace activates, he still has his activation. He hasn't even activated yet. So on Phantom Ace's activation, he steps over Okie Joe and goes for the plot point. You see what a big difference that makes? All in the same turn. So let's roll the dice and let's just see what happens.
I mean, it's going
Let's
to take a
just
lot
roll
to take Okie Joe down.
Let's just see what happens. So, as we start turn number 3, Phantom Ace is the director. And according to Bessy, she says the smart move is to make Phantom Ace go first. And I'm with her on that. I think that is the better thing is to make Okie Joe go first. Okie Joe brawls with 2 dice 6, or he could dodge with 2 dice 6. What do you think he should do here? What do you think Okie Joe should do here? You know what? If I was really trying to defend that plot point, if I really wanted to try to avoid letting Phantom Ace get to it, I would probably try to dodge.
Yeah.
Because that way I have a chance of mitigating some of that damage.
Yeah.
So if I was simply trying to fight to try to injure Phantom Ace, then I would brawl. But what if my goal was to try and defend that plot point? Let's go with that. Let's say that Okie Joe wants to try to defend that plot point. So he chooses to use his dodge skill here, and Phantom Ace is rolling 4 die 8 to brawl. Here is the roll. He has, that's a pretty good roll. That's going to be hard. A 7, a 5, and a 4. Well, we know Okie can't stop that 7. Let's see if he can do anything about the 4 and the 5. Look at that. So he's going to be able to mitigate some of that damage, and he knocks out that 5. He could knock out the 4 or the 5, but at least he lowered the amount of damage that's coming at him by 1 hit. And now he's going to have to roll a 2 dice health check. Remember, this is occurring during Okie Joe's turn. This is occurring during Okie Joe's turn, and Okie Joe is going to have to roll a 2 dice health check. And surprise, surprise, he failed it, and Okie Joe is put down. Now, Phantom Ace has not even activated this turn. You see what a big difference it makes thinking about that, about which side is actually going to activate the first character. I think a lot of new players won't think that through, and they'll just think it's because they play other games where going first is the only thing that matters. That's not how Pulp Alley works. So you can actually use your brain a little bit in Pulp Alley because it's...
Well, sometimes it takes a while playing the game to really see that, I can actually do that.
Yeah, yeah. Or you watch our videos and you find out also. So let's do the plot point. We might as well, right? Let's go ahead and roll for the plot point.
All right.
So on Phantom Ace's activation, he's going to activate and he's going to move up to the plot point. Now remember this, boys and girls, if you're old or new to the game, plot points are always perilous. And what that represents is They are that what's the rule? If something can go wrong, it will. What's
Murphy's Law?
Murphy's Law? Is it Murphy's Law? Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will. And that's kind of what that's supposed to represent. That's why plot points are always a point of danger. Something could happen there. Could you imagine what it would be? Could you imagine what if Okie Joe suddenly reached out and grabbed a hold of Phantom Ace? That could be a peril, right? So think about that stuff. So here is the Peril. We're going to draw the card, and it is a 1 with finesse. Phantom Ace has 3 die 10 in finesse. She's stopping me because Phantom Ace is injured, boys and girls. So she says Phantom Ace can't roll D10s. He has to use D8s. 3 die 8. Let's see. Boys and girls can see the dice. And he gets past the Peril. After you pass the Peril, that was the dangerous part involved with the plot point. So maybe Okie Joe reached out and grabbed a hold of him, and he was going to try and stab him, and Phantom Ace, smacks him to keep him down, something like that.
Sure, that sounds right.
That's how it goes. And then once you get past the Peril, then you can roll for the plot point challenge, and that is another random card. So we flip it over, and this time it is 1 with might or finesse. And there I do. I went for my D10s again, but again, Phantom Ace cannot roll his D10s because he is injured. He passes the plot point. Oh, I didn't have it on the dice. Anyway, he passes the plot point, and he would pick up that plot point, and now that plot point would be under his control. In addition, he would get to draw a reward card, and that would be added to his stack like so. And that's a big part of the game right there, boys and girls. That's a big portion of the rules of what a normal game of Pulp Alley is going to involve. A little bit of tussling, a little bit of tussle, left, right, a little bit of perils, and a little bit of plot points. So that's it. That's the stuff. What is everybody talking about on here? One of the best initiative systems I've played with. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Vern. Thank you, Vern. I appreciate that. Sally Forth makes a cool looking card holder. Yes. It's kind of based on this one that I made. This was 3D printed, but he has Sally Forth made one very similar to this. So yeah, that's cool. I never made mine I only made 1 or 2 of these. I never really intended to market them or sell them or anything like that. So
it's held up pretty well. It's been like 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's held up a long time. Okay, you guys want to see a solo game, a live solo game on Sunday? That might be fun.
I'm up for it.
That might be fun, yeah. So we're going to have Bessy play a live solo game, and I will just sit there and chitter chat with you guys all day long while Bessy. We'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss. We'll discuss.
We'll just discuss my price.
Oh, you guys might have to chip in a little bit. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you have questions, we want to hear them. If you have suggestions, if you have paranoid delusions, we want to hear those too. So make sure you leave something nice for us in the comments, and we will see you on Sunday. Don't miss the solo game on Sunday. We'll see you then. Cue the music and wake up the orchestra. Dun 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 dun. Good night, everybody. Merry Christmas. Dun 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 dun.